What's up, guys? Trail here, better known as Budget Bill, and this is your third stimulus check update and stimulus package update for Tuesday, January the 26th. Good morning, everyone, and we have a buttload of information for you today. We want to talk about the $1,400 stimulus checks and the status of those checks being mailed out sometime next month. We also have a new initiative to provide $25 billion in pandemic rental assistance. I also have a neat little story about dogs that can sniff out the virus underneath your skin. And we also have a basketball player that could become a United States Senator. Those are just some of the topics that we're going to cover today. If this is your first time to the channel, hey, welcome and glad to have you. On this channel, we talk about finance, real estate, credit cards, and stimulus update news. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to hit the like button for me if you enjoy this type of content. It doesn't cost you a single dime for me to bring this information to you, and all I ask is for a simple press of the like button, as it really helps out the channel. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. What's up, everyone? Are we going to get these $1,400 stimulus checks next month or what? Just tell us, Congress. Well, they may have told us already. Biden called for a $1.9 trillion package that would send a third round of stimulus relief aid to the American people, along with a slew of other changes, such as the eviction and foreclosure extensions, unemployment boost of $400 per week, and money for schools to reopen safely to allow children to return, as well as $15 per hour minimum wage, and many, many more. Biden promised us on the campaign trail that if you elect the Democrats in the Georgia runoff elections, those stimulus checks would be in the mail very quickly. Well, today makes a week of Biden as being the president, and he has not kept his promise in getting those stimulus checks out to the people in most need. Lots of people were expecting him to literally sign an executive order that would approve of $2,000 stimulus checks to be mailed to families by the end of this month. And now it appears that that's not the case. As of yesterday, those plans may have changed a little bit. I mentioned how much Biden wants to get a bipartisan support of the stimulus package. And yesterday, he stated that he was willing to negotiate on the stimulus bill to get the GOP support. Biden said that he is open to reshaping his $1.9 trillion package bill, and his administration seeks a bipartisan deal. However, he hasn't ruled out the Democrat-only route as a backup. In a statement at a news conference, Biden said, "I'm open to negotiate, but time is of essence, and I must tell you, I'm reluctant to cherry pick and take out one or two items in this stimulus package bill." So you can tell right there that he is somewhat nervous about the negotiations, but he still wants to do the right thing and negotiate with the Republicans on getting this stimulus package and for it to be bipartisan bill. He also said, "I don't expect we'll know whether we have an agreement or not and what the extent of the entire package will be able to pass or not pass until we get right down to the very end of this process, which will probably be in a couple of weeks." That's what Biden said. So now I don't think that we will be seeing any type of stimulus relief aid in the month of February, and maybe not in March. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said that he is now aiming to pass a new stimulus relief bill in the next month or a month and a half. This means that a bill probably won't be done by the end of February, meaning that it could be early to mid-March before a bill is actually voted on, and perhaps even mid to late March before Americans can see any more relief aid from Congress. And this March timeline is right in line of when the other extensions and benefits are set to expire. The eviction moratorium extension, the foreclosure moratorium extension, the unemployment benefits boost of $400 per week extension, they all will be expiring at the end of March. So setting up a timeline for the third stimulus package to be completed in early March puts the stimulus right on the edge. But what if we experience what we did back in 2020 when the bipartisan negotiations was at a gridlock? It ended up taking those knuckleheads more than 9 months to figure out the second stimulus package. We can't and will not wait that long this time around, guys. I know we can't, especially knowing that the Democrats control the House and the Senate. I think if it gets down to late late March and they are still having trouble negotiating this stimulus bill, then they should take the advice of Bernie Sanders and shove it down their throats. Get this stimulus package done and signed. Bernie Sanders is the aggressive one. He already said that if the Republicans want to support the bill in a bipartisan way, that is totally fine. But if they don't, he said no one needs them. We can get this bill done on our own as struggling families continue to have nowhere to turn to. Now, Biden did say that he was going to leave it up to Chuck Schumer and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to decide whether to use the budget rule procedure to forego Republicans and to proceed with the Democratic support only. He said the decision to use reconciliation will depend upon how these negotiations go. So we'll just have to see how all of this turns out. I know I'm upset. You guys are probably upset too because it doesn't look like we are going to be receiving these stimulus checks in the month of February. However, just 1 month later can still be a positive thing. So we'll just see how this all turns out. In other news, the feds are the ones that have the money printer and have been pumping money into the economy since March of last year, all in order to support the market and the economy from crashing. A study performed last month by the Census Bureau showed that 11.6 million people indicated that they wouldn't be able to pay their rent or their mortgage coming up. Well, the feds are now providing $25 billion in pandemic relief aid to provide rental assistance for people behind on their mortgage or their rent. This money was just available and it started on January the 20th, where all 50 states, including Washington, D.C. and U.S. territories, are able to participate in this relief aid. This initiative is called the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, which is from President Biden an extension of the eviction and foreclosure moratorium. Local officials in your state will funnel the relief aid to cities and counties that have rental assistance programs. A renter or a landlord can apply for these funds, and once approved, the money can pay out up to 12 months of overdue rent, including late fees and even upcoming 3 months of payments as well. This $25 billion is specifically allocated for rent, and it can be used to help people get out of the debt and continue to have a place to lay their heads. No one wants to see anyone in this country be evicted because of this pandemic. That's just wrong, especially when the virus wasn't anyone's fault. As Trump always said, it was China's fault. So this new influx of money is definitely helpful at a time when so many people are struggling right now, especially on paying their rent or their mortgages. Statistics show that more than 10 million Americans owe a combined $57 billion in rent and late fees and utilities as of January, which comes to an average of $5,600 per renter. Now, for more information, if you guys are interested, you can check out your local state and county for rental assistance programs. And then you can also go to the website www.knowyouroptions.com to find out more information on how to get assistance. On the front page, you can either click on if you are a renter or if you are a owner to find assistance. And I will also include a link in the description so you can check that out as well. Now, moving on to this particular story right here. As more viruses and vaccines are being administered across the country and more virus cases continue to increase, a dog training center is training dogs to sniff out the virus. This is like earth-breaking news right here, guys. These dogs will be able to sniff a person and determine whether that person has the virus inside of their blood or underneath their skin. Like, what? You know how some companies or businesses are taking your temperature at the door, which really doesn't determine if you have the virus or not, but these virus sniffing dogs can determine whether to allow people into the building just by sniffing them. Let me play this little clip for you real quick.
3 different samples of cloth. Some are from infected patients, others from people who don't have the virus, and also fake samples. Dogs trainers report a 95% success rate in detection. They say a fully trained dog should be able to detect a large number of people in a very short time.
The study is designated to verify dogs' ability to detect COVID-19 and generate a method enabling the use of trained dogs in combating the pandemic. The method should also work with other diseases, even more lethal than COVID-19.
That was crazy, right? As a result of this, the Miami Heat are bringing back some diehard fans to their arena for their next basketball game with the help of these virus-sniffing dogs. Starting this week, some ticket holders will be able to attend the games if they can get past the sniff test. Could you imagine driving an hour to see the Heat game played and the dogs determine that you have the Rona? I mean, wow. What if you were with your friends and they just realized you infected them while breathing the same air in the car for an hour on your drive to the arena? That's just crazy, right? Anyways, they are saying that these dogs have a 95% success rate and they can sniff numerous of people within minutes. This is just insane. We needed these sniffing dogs back in March, especially for traveling on airplanes. Guys, let me know. Do you think that if they can really start producing these virus sniffing dogs, that it would help slow down the transfer of COVID? Let me know what you guys think. I'm really curious about that. I think this is really exciting news to see. And then we have a very unusual story to talk about here. There is a call to have one of the greatest basketball players of all time to run for the senator in the state of Ohio. I thought this story was definitely off the charts, and considering this guy is my favorite basketball player today, I figured I would mention it. Republican Senator Rob Portman of Ohio announced yesterday that he is retiring from his position. He stated that he would not be seeking a third term in 2022. While he made his announcement, he also called for the basketball great Lebron James to take a shot at his seat. For those that don't know, LeBron James grew up in Akron, Ohio and played 11 seasons for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he brought them a championship. Portman stated that he believes that LeBron James should take a shot at being a senator next year. Portman thinks that LeBron could secure the all-time scoring record and run for Senate in the same year. And of course, social media blew up about this news. But personally, I don't think LeBron wants that type of attention. I don't think that he is into politics, but mostly into social injustice in this country. I don't think that the people of Ohio would actually vote for LeBron James. Ohio is, a swing state and varies which side of the aisle it chooses every couple of years. But I thought that it was an interesting story and I wanted to share that with you. But it's interesting to know that this respected Republican senator will call for LeBron James to take his seat. That shows you how the times are changing. Most Republicans and the viewers of Fox News don't really like LeBron James, especially after the infamous statement that Laura Ingraham made. If you don't know, she is the one that stated LeBron James needs to shut up and dribble. She didn't think that LeBron should be talking about politics because he was a basketball player. So basically, people who are not in politics shouldn't say anything about politics, which that includes me. But yes, a Republican urging a basketball player to take his seat is pretty interesting. But I don't think this news will go much farther. And I will leave it right there. This has been your third stimulus check update news for today. If you enjoyed any of this information and found it to be useful, be sure to hit the like button for me. It definitely helps out a lot and it tells YouTube to share this video with others. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for me so you can be a part of this community and hit the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.